she's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. At night she's screaming, mama.
So hi everybody, today I'll just show you something that I haven't had the chance yet to teach in a video, so I'm very happy about it. One of my students from the Chaînon has a cane, so she was basically asking me what she could do with it, because she shared with me that she is being regularly intimidated, made fun of, and also categorized as a weak prey because she has a physical vulnerability. So yeah, for me, obviously right now it's a Cali stick, but let's pretend it's a cane because it's the same thing. You can actually do that with a cane, with a baseball bat, with shovel, so many things. Anything that actually has this kind of structure is applicable to what I'm about to show you, so I'm very excited about it. But let's firstly make an emphasis on someone with the cane, since the question was especially for that. So first off, I'll just like to start by explaining how to just casually hold it and use it. So, well, of course, I won't explain to you how to use your cane if you have one while walking and stuff like that, but really the most important parts are actually when you're gonna sit with it, because oftentimes maybe you're gonna see it within yourself. Maybe you have someone in your family or whatever that has a cane and you notice that yourself, but most of the time people with a cane, when they sit down, they kind of put it on the side for various reasons, but they could just put it on the wall or hang it on their chair and stuff like that. But honestly, the best way to actually be preemptive and make the whole thing useful is really getting used on having it at all times on your knees, just comfortably, using it as some kind of support, but really keeping it within direct reach. Because even if it's on the side or whatever, obviously on a combative aspect, it's taking reaction times and whatnot, and worst case, it could actually fall off at some point, roll away, whatever, or you just have difficulty to bend and reach for it. So really just take the habit of keeping it close to you. Even opportunity weapon or whatnot, like an umbrella and whatever, you just keep it on yourself. You never know what can happen. The second you feel threatened, it's there. So that's the first thing, really just keeping it on you, and ideally keeping it right away in your hand. Once that is done, you can do swings and even poke from a sitting position. I will show it to you standing just because it's better visualization and whatnot, but the principle from sitting down to standing up are the very same. So for not only the swing, not only the pokes, but really in general, especially if you're gonna use it one-handed, you want to make sure that you have at least a pommel of your fist length, at least. So really easiest way is literally to just take your stick, your cane, whatever it is, from the bottom, then your strong hand is gonna grab it. So you have your ideal and what should be your minimal pommel. It's very good to have a good grasp on it. It's very good for leverage and whatnot. So you really want to keep that. And then the moment that you kind of go into actions, you really want to make sure that you have a good bending in your arm, though. So you don't want it to be straight. You always want to at least have it a little loose, a little contraction. And on your hand, You want to make sure that your wrist is not bending and whatnot. You want it to keep it strong, to keep it straight. But most importantly is really the grip itself. And what people do as a mistake often is that they are going to prioritize for example, the index on the grip, when actually what is the most important is the pinky. So from bottom to the top. If you have a choice, I mean, don't do it on purpose or whatever, but if you will have a choice to actually either break your two first finger or your two bottom finger, break these two. It doesn't matter. You mostly need the bottom finger to hold a stick or whatever. These are the most important because it gives you more, again, a better grasp to move, a better leverage and whatnot. Okay? So here we go. And it's really, again, it's like with the hits. Either it is a slap, a hammer fist, whatever. All the motion comes from your posture. It comes from your pivot, from your hips, and whatnot. And you really make sure, now I'm doing it, obviously, like I said, if you can, the ideal is to keep it all closed. But I'm showing it to prove to you that you can actually do very hard and it's still very comfortable to actually just have the two bottom fingers, because these are the most important. So then it's really just to see how you're comfortable with moving with. If you want to do all these kind of fancy roll and whatnot, especially if there's multiple attacker, go with it. But really, make sure to actually train to not, hit yourself in the face, hit your own legs, stuff like that. After that, it's really just to see your own movement. See how it goes. Alright? So, just make sure to not hit yourself in the face. And then, of course, I'm going to put myself on this side to also show you the reverse. So then, you hit, and here, once this is done, you can either bring it under your arm, over your arm, doesn't really matter, as long as it's fluid, as long as it doesn't hit anything, and the same thing, you hit, and then you come back. Alright? I'm seeing my friend's face right now, and she's like, oh my god. So that's going to be it. Really just play with it, but first and foremost, really work on that posture, on that grips, before trying to go fast and go hard. Because you're going to see that the stick is just going to go away, fly away, or hit yourself. So be very careful with that. And the other important strike, if I may say, that I really like with, again, stick, cane, umbrella, whatever, it's really the poke. And here the poke, because oftentimes, people try to do it from far, and I'm pretty comfortable with it. But most people are not, for various reasons. Again, maybe because of, the grip, or just not used to that kind of forward motion. But really, I wouldn't encourage this one to be with just one hand. It's just too easily, moving around and whatnot. So from that, swinging posture to maybe a poking one, I really suggest you to go two hands. And again, it's really to aim better, to have more strength behind it. And the basic posture, the safest for me, the strongest and whatnot, it's really to pass from that swinging basic form, so being like this, to the side like this, and then you grab it. And if you see that you're holding it like this, and when you poke again, it's going a bit everywhere, or it's not that strong, just put more distance between your hands. And it actually doesn't even matter if it goes closer to the peak, because the whole point, I think, of this kind of weapon is to keep the most distance, but even if it's like this, you still have that leverage of distance, which to me is very good. So it doesn't matter if your hands is closer, really just focus on keeping it tight. So from here, you're here, again, same principle, pinky first, and you poke. And you poke. And if you want to be not fancier, but you know, had a little something, you poke, stretch.
She'll make you curse, but see a blessing. She'll rip your shirt, but then